Welcome to 60 Days Insider. I'm Dan Abrams. Tonight, we're taking an in-depth look at our Phase 2 participants' lives inside the Clark County Jail as they try to survive 60 days in. I'm here with a special guest, Mark Abadi from Business Insider. Mark is not only a journalist who writes about 60 Days In, but he's also a huge fan of the show. And also Phase 1 participant, Maryum. Maryum, good to have you back. We should point out that, of course, you are the daughter of boxing great Muhammad Ali. Our condolences go to you and your family for the loss. How have you all been holding up the last few months?
You know, very well. I think the overflowing love from people, it's really helped us a lot, you know, for people to keep his legacy alive through their stories, and their support for him really helps.
I still have my signed poster in my office, as so many of us do. Catch us up on what you've been doing since the program.
I've been really working on trying to use what I've learned from the program in my efforts in delinquency prevention for youth, and that jail experience is very real for me. So how do you translate that for these kids where they really understand?
All right, Mark, tell me what has surprised you most about Season 2 in comparison to Season 1?
To me, Season 2, you have some people who already have negative feelings towards corrections officers, towards the criminal justice system, and throwing them all in this environment has produced a lot of different results so far.
Are there particular participants that you're watching sort of most closely?
Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on Mona Lisa right now.
Been in jail before, man?
No.
No, so you never been patted down or anything like that?
No.
We're gonna put you in here, and what they'll do, they'll call you out and fingerprint you, book you in.
COs, they've been given dominion over human life.
I haven't either, so.
Ma'am, that we don't do anything in a hurry here, okay?
And I'm curious to see if that evolves, if she starts to change her opinion.
Maryum, how do you see Season 2 being different from Season 1?
Immediately, the first impression, the women are more aggressive. Almost like the Season 1 men were. The women now are a little tougher.
And did anything surprise you about who was in charge of the pods?
What surprised me was the groupthink mentality. For instance, the pod leader controlled the television, right? We all had to watch the same thing. And most of the girls did not like that, but they all just kind of succumbed to it. I felt if I was a real inmate, I would say, hey, how many guys want to share the TV? So
this is jail. This isn't democratic.
I'm saying, I understand that, but it's amazing, like no one tried to change that up. And I'm thinking, 24 women can get these 2 chicks. But it's amazing how once that's the pod boss, everyone just says that's the pod boss. Well, it's just weird that they allow that.
Mark, these were severe beatings that we saw.
Bring it down to room 6. The lashes are going to commence down here. That don't count. Let the lashes commence. 1, 3, 2, 4, 1. Here you go.
It was painful to watch. I think every viewer at home was probably thinking the same thing. If I was in jail, maybe that would be me.
That's what everyone's nightmare is about, their kid going to jail, things like that.
I think the problem is that they can't sit there and watch the camera at all times,
I think they should have cameras. I think there's so many people incarcerated and it's so dangerous, cameras should be in every nook and cranny of a jail to save a life. That's my opinion.
For every camera you have, you need someone watching that camera.
We're spending money, you know, on a lot of other things in this country, spending on that.
So let's talk about Cherie and her investigation. Maryum, do you think it's a smart move by her to try and get intel?
I actually do think it's smart for her to befriend them in that way because, I mean, from my perspective, people need love, and she's trying to find a way to get the intel. So being connected with them in a loving manner, I think that's the way to go.
But are you worried about her?
I'm not worried about her. I think just because she's showing them love and empathy doesn't mean they're going to get her involved in anything. So I think actually it's brilliant that she did that.
Mark, as a viewer, are you worried about Cherie befriending some potentially dangerous people?
She does need to worry a little bit about getting a little too close to these inmates. We've seen it before. Maybe you feel like you can trust each other, so then you want to defend them, you want to stand up for them, and then that's actually getting in the way of your purpose there, which is to gain information.
If you were advising her as someone who's seen season 1 and seen these pods, would you say smart move, dumb move?
Let's say it's a smart move for now, and we'll see where it goes.
I agree with that. If now they want to tell her, hey, you know, we want you to be a part of this thing where you get us some material so we can make some cigarettes or make some whatever, then she may say, you know what, I'm not down with that. You know, I have a case, but you can't let that situation dictate what you're going to do in the next situation. So you have to, it's survival in there.
Dion seems to be spiraling.
I got to use the showers.
Who's in there? Who's in there? Yo! Who the f***'s in the shower?
I can't take it anymore. It's like either they gonna have to do something,
I'm trying to take damn shower.
or they gonna just have to shut the up, because I'm not about to take any of this crap anymore. I'm ready to use my hands.
Maryum, if you were in Dion's situation, what would you be doing?
You have to find a way to finesse them to allow you to use that shower. You have to find that way because he could have been beat down in the shower.
But Dion's position is this is crazy that they're putting this quote-unquote jail rule into place at all.
Like you said, it's a jail, right? It's not democratic, right? So,
But it sounds like you're almost blaming Dion. You're almost saying like he's crossing the line.
He is crossing the line. So you have to chum up, be friends, do something, but you just can't go in there while they're asleep.
You gotta understand how crazy it sounds for someone who's watching when there's a participant who's saying, I'm about to go crazy because I can't shower because this guy is not gonna let me take a shower, use the bathroom.
Yeah, it is crazy. That's why they had the show, to show you how crazy it is.
Let's talk about Ryan. We watched as he started to get close to the inmates. Too close for the sheriff's comfort.
Ryan.
Bunkies come first.
You gotta keep in mind you're still in here on a program.
But, I do still have an honor code.
What's this honor code?
So there's a code that kind of permeates into my known friendships. I have to keep some people close while I am here.
They're pulling out inmates that are real inmates.
Yeah.
So they're getting the inmate.
Yeah.
Where I'm kind of getting a vibe that you're getting a little bit too inmate-y. Maybe you're not thinking about the program as much as we would like for you to. You're not an inmate.
Okay.
You're a person.
All right.
That's not an inmate.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about, or?
Not necessarily.
Ryan talks a lot. He could have said, you know, I'm in here, I'll try my best, yes, sir, show respect to the program, but he just had to verbalize everything that was in his head.
But are you worried about what's going on in his head? I mean, are you worried that he's becoming too close to the inmates?
You're in there and you're stuck in there, and those are your comrades, and you've made alliances.
I think in another universe, Ryan is a pod boss. The way that he's seamlessly got into that group. And you could see him even starting to rise the ranks, get into a cell, solve a dispute.
The positive thing about Ryan is that if he does get close, there are cameras and microphones everywhere. It's amazing to me what people do with the cameras right there. Even when I was in there, I heard some of the ladies on the phone, the microphone is right by the phone, and they're talking about what they're gonna do when they get out and where their money is, and I'm going, the phone, the microphone, you know, it's just, people just forget about it. So, you know, keep them in there, let them get close, and let the cameras and the mics pick it up.
I don't know, if you were the sheriff, would you say, I can't trust this guy?
I hope the sheriff recognizes that he's a valuable member of the program. To have someone that can gain the trust of inmates like that.
Before you started watching the show, did you have any idea that this sort of stuff happened?
No, and I think that this one example of something that viewers would have no idea about before seeing this show. It's not something that they show in movies or TV.
What have been some of the most surprising things you've learned about the jail system in covering this show?
It's amazing to me what inmates can do when they're left alone. You have people devising ridiculous ways to get high and to make weapons. And it's just amazing how, with no structure, what will people do?